Erin now working its way through the Caribbean. Currently, as Carol mentioned, 360 miles east-southeast of Miami, 70-mile-per-hour winds, but there are wind gusts of up to 75 miles per hour, and at 75 miles when the winds are sustained, then it becomes a hurricane. It's moving west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. At the current track, it should be just off the Miami coast at about tomorrow afternoon, making landfall sometime around 5 or 6 in the morning, I should say in the evening. Then by tomorrow night, it's on the other side of Florida, the west coast side, but still forecasted to be a hurricane. Maybe minimal, but still could produce anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain, major storm surges, lots of wind, could also produce tornadoes as well. So they still have hurricane warnings now up for the southeastern shore of Florida, and on the southwestern shore, hurricane watches in effect, flood watches for central to southern Florida as well. Our jet stream, the band of air 20,000 feet above the Earth's surface, all that lower humidity, kiss it goodbye. It is up to the north, that jet stream, and so that allows the hot, steamy weather to make its way into our area. The thing that's keeping us safe from Erin, though, high pressure out over the Atlantic. The bad news is the jet stream stays way up to the north, so the heat, humidity will continue to build through the week with the threat of afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms and temperatures in the 90s with high humidity. So for tonight, clear skies, comfortable sleeping, mid-60s to upper 60s, coast and north and west, mid-70s here in town. Tomorrow morning, sunshine to start your day. Again, the humidity level comfortable, upper 70s to mid-80s. And your boat and beach weather for you tomorrow. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots. Water temperature 68 to 72 degrees. And your 5-day forecast, 94 tomorrow. But again, that humidity level starts rising, so it's going to feel more uncomfortable. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, hazy, hot, and humid. Chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms with temperatures in the upper 80s to the low 90s. And, of course, tonight at 11, we'll have an update for you on Tropical Storm Erin, because so many of our friends and family live down in Miami. So I want to make sure they're well taken care of.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about it. We saw the people stocking up.
Yes.
When now the governor has said, get out.
Well, because there's so many low-lying areas, and of course Hurricane Andrew is somewhat fresh in people's mind back in 1989, I believe it was. So they still need to really evacuate and get out. Because nobody wants a repeat of what happened there.
Okay, so our viewers can call your relatives and friends down there and tell them to move on at this point. Thanks, Al, very much. Well, hey,
miles southeast of Miami, too close for comfort since she's getting faster and stronger. People in South Florida are taking no chances. They're boarding up their doors and windows and stocking up on food and water. Bottled water especially is jumping off the shelves, and people are actually lining up in the aisles waiting for new shipments. Memories of Hurricane Andrew are fresh in their minds. It was just 3 years ago when that huge storm blew through Florida, leaving a path of death and destruction. Erin is still a tropical storm, but at the National Hurricane Center in Miami, they're keeping a close eye on it anyway. It's expected to pick up steam as it moves north and west, and even if it doesn't become a hurricane, they expect up to 10 inches of rain. Erin is the 5th storm to get a name this season. That's early. Storm number 5 usually doesn't come until the middle of August.
And Rosanna Nick's been tracking Erin all day. Here's our first on Fox Weather. Nick?
Well, John, this is the storm that we were telling you about originally late last week, and it really did blossom up into a tropical storm over the weekend, and it is just on the verge of becoming a hurricane. Look at the latest satellite movie loop. You can see right in here, watch right about there. You'll see a little eye wall that's trying to form as the storm strengthens to winds of over 75 miles per hour. And I wouldn't be surprised if at 11 o'clock tonight, the National Hurricane Center does upgrade it to a hurricane. Right now, though, still a tropical storm. Winds at 70 miles an hour, about 370 miles to the east-southeast of Miami as it moves to the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. And thus now the National Hurricane Center has posted a hurricane warning for the entire southeast coast of Florida, including the Keys, and a hurricane watch is up for the west coast of Florida up to about Venice. I'll give you the track of the storm and, of course, our forecast coming up a little bit later in the 10 o'clock news. It's a lot more tranquil up here, that's for sure. John?
All right, thanks, Nick. All right, now, our...
It's Al.
Thanks a lot, Carol. Tropical Storm Erin is now Hurricane Erin. Right now, 23.8 north, 75.3 west. It's now 340 miles east-southeast of Miami. It's moving to the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour with winds at 75 miles per hour. Just barely a hurricane, but enough so that the National Weather Service has issued hurricane warnings from Sebastian Inlet all the way down to Florida Keys, hurricane watches and tropical storm warnings from Venice down to the Florida Keys as well. We'll tell you what it'll mean for us, and we come back a little bit later. Sue and Carol?
Well, thank you, Al. Coming up, a popular Long Island mall left in the dark. That story when News 4 at 11 continues. Also, a high-speed, high seas.
Homes today, Tuesday, August the 1st, 1995.